Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday, February 19th, 2025 Civil Service regular meeting, and attendance is always handled by Louisa. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the January 15th regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion here? Okay, thank you. I'll second it. All in favor? Any corrections, changes, anything? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Any general public people, Bill, anyone?
If there's any member of the public that would like to speak, please press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen or star 9 if you're on the phone.
Good to go?
Seems like so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's move to the first bullet on our new business item, and that is the approval of the eligibility list for the Assistant Superintendent of Maintenance in the Parks and Highway Department. Steve,
Yep.
Tom,
So
did you want to say anything about that?
This was a training and experience exam based on the background and experience that each of the candidates presented to us, and we had, I think, 6 successful candidates, a couple of ties in there, but all else is in order unless there's some questions. Happy to answer.
I just have one question. Are these all outside people?
No, that's a mixture. This was
Okay.
this was an open competitive exam, but I would say 1, 2, 3. I think 4 of the 6 are internal.
Okay. All right, good. If there's no further questions or comments, I need a motion to approve the eligibility list for Assistant Superintendent of Maintenance in the Parks Department. Thank you, Michelle. Seconded. Thank you, Barbara. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. Any opposition? No. No abstentions. And so motion carries. Second item here is the approval of the eligibility list for the accounting manager of the Finance Department, which was 100% training and experience. You'll see the list before you. 10.
So
That's a nice amount.
this is opening as a result of a promotion. The previous accounting manager is now the Assistant Director of Finance, so we're backfilling her position. This was a training and experience assessment that included, in addition to kind of the standard training and experience, there was also a group of 4 subject matter experts, including 3 from the finance department, that ranked each of the candidates in terms of, background and experience and fit for the job. And we have a resulting list before you for approval.
Okay, nice. Any questions or comments?
That's
All
a good
right,
list. I feel like it's one of the larger lists. That's a nice.
Yeah,
change.
yeah,
It is a very good list. We are very impressed with this list.
especially because it's accounting,
Yeah, we were
Gotta respect those numbers, people. All right, so without any other comments or suggestions, I need a motion to approve the eligibility list for the accounting manager in the finance department. Thank you, Barbara, and a second. I'll second it. All in favor, please raise your hand or signify by saying aye. All right. Full approval. Next will be the eligibility list for deputy building official for the building department, 100% training and experience.
Okay, so this is an opening as a result of someone who left. The deputy left us a couple of months ago. The prerequisites or the minimum qualifications for this job are pretty strict, meaning if you are not already a building official or an assistant building official in the state of Connecticut, you don't qualify. All of the individuals on the list are, which surprised me. So we got a very good response, and we're, this is a good list as well as the last one.
Terrific. All right. Go Trumbull.
Yeah.
All right, without any further questions or comments? A motion to approve the eligibility list for deputy building official in the building department. Thank you, Barbara, and seconded by Michelle. All in favor? Any opposition, any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. I see Louisa writing. I not want to get on her. Approval of the eligibility list for senior supervisor in the Trumbull Highway Department, which is also 100% training and experience.
This list was limited to people who are already employees and in fact supervisors in Trumbull. So the overall population that was eligible to apply and take the test was, I think, probably 6 people, 3 of whom applied, all of whom passed based on their training and experience. So this is a new position. It's been a position in the town before. It's been was taken out of the budget a few years ago, was put back in this year's budget as a in between, an additional layer of management above the supervisors.
Okay. All right, very good. Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the eligibility list for senior supervisor of the Trumbull Highway Department. I'll make the motion. Any second? Thank you, Barbara. Will second it. All in favor? Any opposition? No abstentions. Motion carries. Next is the approval of the eligibility list for general foreman of the Trumbull Highway Department. 30% training and experience and a 70% oral exam. So the list is before you.
Yep. So this is, again, an opening as a result of a retirement. The incumbent was with the town for well over 30 years. So we put together a panel of outside experts from 2 other Department of Public Works that served as the panelists for the oral exam. It was an open and competitive exam. There were, as you can see, 5 people that took the list, 2 of whom did not get to 60 based on the T&E and the oral. But the list does include a couple of internal people as well as an outside person.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, comments about this list? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the eligibility list for the general foreman of the Trumbull Highway Department. Thank you, Barbara, and seconded by Michelle. Thank you. All approve. Any opposition? No? Okay. Motion carries. And finally, a new item to us, the approval of the request from Janice Napier to be placed on the transfer list. So
we put the transfer list in place a few meetings ago. It took me a while to get it organized, but it went up on the website, so it's available for people. And Janice is the first person to ask to be put on the list.
So if I could ask,
You may.
she's currently a tax or works in the tax collector's office,
That is correct.
and she's an administrator there. So the transfer is lateral, is that
Would
correct?
be lateral within jobs that are in the same pay grade or similar, similar duties. And, typically it's going to be in the same pay grade. So, but not exclusively. It would be jobs that where you have a similar set of, background and job duties.
And just to review my thinking about this, if a job comes up for which she is qualified and she does not want to apply for that job, she does not lose her standing on the transfer list. Is that
That
correct?
is correct. That is
Okay.
correct. That being on the transfer list simply gives you the opportunity to be considered for the job. If you don't want to be considered for the job, of course, you don't have to be. And the department is not required to pick the person. They just need to, if they're interested, they need to consider that person for the opportunity. And that happens first before we would, post and go to the outside.
Okay. And does the transfer list have a sunset?
It does. If you remember when we approved it, I believe it's a 3-year, you
Okay.
stay on for 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, so we would need to have a motion to approve the request for Janice to be placed on the transfer list. Okay, Barbara, and a second by Michelle. Thank you very much. All in favor? Any opposed? No abstentions? So motion carries. Okay. Very good, thank you. And finally is the hire report.
Yeah, so that is the routine report that I provide sometimes, not necessarily every meeting. I don't think I did it in December.
Right.
Not a lot of
Okay.
change to the last one you saw. I think you can see Lisa Labona was promoted to Assistant Finance Director and Risk Manager, which is why we approved the Accounting Manager job.
Right, right.
So that is, again, for the benefit and edification of the board, doesn't require any action. It was a request of the board that the report be made periodically.
Could I just ask a question? And that is that wherever it says non-tested, does that simply mean that they apply for the position? And explain what non-tested means.
So the entry level positions for the town have been determined over time not to require a formal civil service exam. They
Right.
we post for it. We do look at background and minimum experience and things like that. But in that case, all of the applications that meet the minimum qualifications get sent to the hiring department. So there's not a ranking within the people that are qualified. I'll do a review to make sure that all the applicants meet the minimum qualifications in maintainer 2. It is usually whether they have a CDL or are willing to get a CDL within the probationary period. That's the case for these 2 individuals. The jobs that primarily fall in that category are the maintainer 2, which is our entry level position in DPW. And we have one open right now for greenskeeper at the golf course. That also falls in that same category, which the board approved in a previous meeting.
Yeah,
So
we just did that.
it would be the same process.
Okay,
And it also will include, sometimes you'll see there's a nurse here on the list. There are groups that are exempted from civil service.
Correct.
So they have their own hiring process.
right.
And that's generally positions that have higher level certifications. So if they have their certifications, there's kind of an assumption that they are minimally qualified and advanced.
Board of Education pretty much falls under that umbrella.
Board of Ed
Well-
completely, EMS, nurses, that's
Right.
kind of the world. you know.
Right. You're either a nurse or you're not, right? I mean, you're either registered. So it's kind of silly to have a test to see
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
qualified since somebody else has already determined you're qualified, right?
Okay, very good. Thank you.
No problem.
I like the new hire list. Thank you. I appreciate the extra effort.
No problem. It'll be significantly longer next month, I hope.
Yeah,
Based on
right.
all the
And well,
lists
look
we
at all
just
the
approved.
approvals we just
Yeah.
passed. Very good. All
I'll
right.
tell you, Steve and Louisa are doing an absolutely fantastic job on this stuff. I just want to make sure, almost nothing here has, I've done anything for. It's really the two of them. Just want to make sure we're clear on that.
All right, thank you. A motion to adjourn. Nobody. Thank you,
No one wants to
Barbara.
leave.
And a second by Michelle. Thank you. All in favor? All right. Thank you all. And I guess we'll see you all on the 13th.
That's what it looks like. Yep.
I will
we'll
reach
get
out
that
to Alice. I'll let everybody know.
Okay.